Hey guys, it's Chris, and last year I introduced some of you guys to the Amino app, and right now they have a Game of Thrones Season 7 predictions challenge going on, so go submit an entry. You have up until July 15th, and I believe there may be some prizes for the winners. For those not familiar with Amino is an awesome community-based app where you can join any type of community you can imagine, or even create your own. On Amino you can blog, embed videos, run quizzes and polls, chat with other members and gain a following, or just browse all the awesome Game of Thrones content. Amino is available on iOS and Android, and links are available in the description below, as well as to the Game of Thrones Season 7 Predictions Challenge, so go submit an entry. I'm active on Amino as well, so you can find me there. My username is Smokescreen, so go check it out, and I'll see you on Thrones Amino. Hello Ice and Fire Nerds, this is Chris, and welcome back to another Game of Thrones Season 7 predictions video. And this week I'm going to try to do several character predictions throughout the week to ramp up for Game of Thrones Season 7, which starts this Sunday, so I'm super fucking excited about it. We will be starting to live stream Sunday night after Game of Thrones at 10:30 Eastern Time, starting this Sunday of course, and going through the entire season, as well as my usual preview videos for the following week, and the regular review videos that are a little more in-depth, but we definitely want to go live with you guys right after the show to kind of do a quick reaction review type thing and discuss the episode with you guys. So I look forward to it. Be sure to subscribe to get everything and click that damn notification bell, otherwise you won't receive a damn thing. But let's start this little series off of character predictions for Season 7, and today we're going to talk about Melisandre. Alright, so Melisandre, what the hell is going to happen to her in Season 7? I'm going to try to give a kind of an overview idea of what I think is going to happen in general. And I gotta say right off the bat, I'm kind of worried about Melisandre. The first thing that worried me is that she's going to be at Con of Thrones. Now, she did end up canceling that, and every single other actor that played on Game of Thrones there was already dead in the show. So that kind of bothered me a bit, although originally she was not scheduled to be on the panel with all the dead characters. So, I don't know, I'm not really sure if that plays into it. So anyway, there's a couple things we do know. We do know from the trailer now she does make it to Dragonstone. So that's very, very important here, because we know that from the previous season that you see right here behind me, that Melisandre and Arya had this little meeting when they were in the Riverlands with the Brotherhood Without Banners, and this is when Melisandre of course came to take Gendry because she wanted to burn him alive. But good thing for Gendry, Stannis wanted a little bit of proof, and therefore she did the little leeching trick to show how powerful King's blood was. And of course Gendry is Robert Baratheon's son and does have King's blood in his veins, and of course we know that means Valyrian blood. But anyway, this is a very, very important scene because she does tell Arya,
"We will meet again."
she kind of took the Ghost of High Hearts thing in the books where she sees a darkness in Arya. She says she sees blue eyes and green eyes, etc., that she's going to close forever. And of course that pointed to Arya becoming a faceless man over in Braavos with Jack and Hagar. But the point being here that I do think this is going to happen. Now, Melisandre did get put on Arya's list because she took Gendry. So that is the big question, of course. When they meet again, which I think they will in Season 7, will Arya try to kill Melisandre? Now, of course, Melisandre probably has a few tricks up her sleeve. She's not going to be easily killed. She is a pretty damn powerful witch, regardless if you believe there's actually a R'hllor, red god, whatever, or it's just magical stuff she's learned through the prism of religion. The point being here that she's not going to be a pushover, but Arya is also a dangerous motherfucker too. So initially I thought that Arya may come across Melisandre in the Riverlands. She may take her out. She may not make it through Season 8 since Jon has now banished her. And of course that happened last year when Jon found out from Davos that Melisandre had burned Shireen. Davos wanted to have her killed immediately, but Jon didn't really know the full story, and she thought she was doing it for a bigger reason, to save the damn world. So Jon basically banished her from the north, and the last we saw of Melisandre, she was riding south on a horse, and of course she's heading right in the direction of Arya, who is still in the Riverlands after she took care of Walder Frey and made some damn Frey pie. And of course, as a reminder, last year in Season 6, the Brotherhood Without Banners is now heading north with the Hound, and I definitely think there's going to be a Hound Arya reunion or a Gendry Arya reunion, or both for that matter. So I think that's a perfect opportunity for them to be heading north. Perhaps Arya meets up with the Brotherhood Without Banners. She's the one that kind of lets them know what's going on up north. That makes her decide to go home to Winterfell, because we do know from the trailers she does go home to Winterfell. And that would be the perfect opportunity for her to meet Melisandre again, and the perfect opportunity for her to mark her off her list. But the conundrum comes in now is that now we see the trailers, we see Melisandre staring down at somebody as they come up to Dragonstone, and of course that's a lot further southeast than the Riverlands, so she has to make it to Dragonstone. But the question is, does she come out of Dragonstone alive? Now, we're not really sure in the trailer. It looks like she's watching Dany perhaps come up the steps, or it actually may be Jon and Davos when they come to Dragonstone to meet Dany for the first time. So that would indicate that Melisandre is already at Dragonstone when Dany arrives, and I'm going to guess that's going to be in Season 7, Episode 1, as in next fucking Sunday, finally, after a year and a damn half. So how can we have it both ways? How does Melisandre make it all the way to Dragonstone, which is further south in the Riverlands, and have her and Arya cross paths, and Arya doesn't actually kill her? Well, one of two things. Either they meet, she recognizes Melisandre, Melisandre of course would remember Arya, and they meet and have a discussion, and she talks about all the things that's happened up north during her time across the Narrowsean Bravos training to become a faceless man, and she tells her that Jon is alive and well and Sansa's there in Winterfell, and that makes her want to go home. She tells Arya perhaps about Jon being resurrected, that he is the prince that was promised, and Arya's like, okay, I appreciate you helping out my brother, I won't fucking kill you now. So that's certainly a possibility. But the other thing is that the actress, Carice Van Houten, I believe, if I'm pronouncing that right, or Houghton, I'm not really sure. Anyway, the actress that plays Melisandre sent out a picture on her Instagram account many months ago showing her back in the old Kron makeup, and I do believe that was for Season 7. I don't think she would put something out that was from Season 6 because we did see what happens when she takes off that damn choker and stops taking her damn medication. So I think Arya and Melisandre will meet again, only Arya will not recognize her this time because she will have removed the choker and stopped taking her potions, and that's how they could get by each other, even have a conversation without Arya knowing actually who it is. Therefore, they could have a meeting, they could meet again and fulfill that little prophecy, so to speak, but Melisandre could also make it all the way down to Dragonstone. So I do think Melisandre will have a role to play as far as kind of filling in Arya on what the hell's been going on in the north, and more importantly to Arya, what the hell's been going on with Jon, and that he is alive and he is resurrected, and he is, in her eyes, the prince that was promised. Very important to the endgame of our story, which will make Arya want to kind of go home and stop going on her killing spree, because I'm thinking with Arya that she would like to leave the Riverlands and go straight to King's Landing to take out Cersei, but something has to get her back on the path of rejoining her wolf pack, so to speak, and heading home to Winterfell. So the question is, of course, what the hell happens once Melisandre makes it to Dragonstone? She goes down to Dragonstone, which does make sense if you think about it, because this was a Baratheon-held castle. This is where Stannis was holed up the entire time before he went on his conquest. So it makes complete sense that she would be there. The question is of what happens when Dany gets there, if she's already there, and will she hang out with Dany and kind of be up her ass, or does she still believe Jon is the prince that was promised once she sees Dany and fire made flesh, as in 3 fucking dragons? So I think that's certainly a possibility that she hangs out with Dany a little bit and tries to discover what's going on with her, because she's never heard of her, she's never seen these dragons. It may shake her confidence in her own damn religion a bit more because she already thinks Jon is the prince that was promised, but now she's going to see this Dany character with fire made flesh, real fucking dragons, and she's going to be a bit confused. But what happens when Jon and Davos go to Dragonstone and see Melisandre there, if that happens at all? I think that's a big possibility. We do know Jon's going to head south from the trailers. He's going to meet Dany the first time, and Davos is going to be with him, being his right-hand man, and they run into Melisandre there. Now, Jon wouldn't necessarily have any pull there on Dragonstone since that's Dany's castle, so Jon probably wouldn't and probably couldn't have her executed, although Davos would probably still like to do that himself. But then again, I could see a scene where Jon and Davos walk in to talk to Dany for the first time, or the first couple times during their visit to Dragonstone. Melisandre's there, and they tell Dany what actually happened, and Dany, considering herself the new queen of Westeros, could actually dish out punishment to Melisandre and kill her, and I think this would actually be the perfect death for her. I don't want her to die. I do want her to play a bigger role in the endgame of our story, but she could die by fire, and I think that would be the perfect ending, especially if it's dragon fire. So I'm not saying that's going to happen or I want it to happen, because I do think that she has a bigger role to play in the endgame, because don't forget, we did see in a previous season when Stannis and them went to attack King's Landing at the Battle of the Blackwater, all those men died in that wildfire. Davos had talked Stannis into leaving Melisandre behind, and when they get back to Dragonstone, Melisandre said she could have saved those men. What does that actually mean? And does that mean something's going to happen in the endgame of our story with Melisandre being involved in the Great War, where she's not actually left behind this time? Did that actually mean something? What could she have done to save those men and help Stannis win that war like she said would happen if she was there, since Tyrion had the whole wildfire trick up his sleeve? So anyway, that's kind of my overview of what I think is going to happen in Season 7. I'm really torn between Melisandre actually living through Season 7 and making it to Season 8, because I do think she could play a role in the endgame because of the whole Blackwater reference, but I could also see Dany actually punishing her, you know, dishing out the new Queen's Justice after Jon and Davos tell Dany what she did even though she thought she was doing it for a good reason. And I've also mentioned this in quite a few live streams. I wanted to see the Kinvara Melisandre meeting, which may or may not happen. I don't know if the Kinvara actress is going to be back in season 7 whatsoever, but I wanted to see a red priestess from Essos who believes Dany is the prince that was promised, or the princess that was promised, come over and meet Melisandre, who thinks Jon is the prince that was promised. I wanted them to come together and have a fucking mud wrestling match to argue over who the actual prince that was promised is, or if they could agree that they both were, or whatever. I just wanted to see that interaction, but I don't think we're going to see that, unfortunately, because I don't think Kinvara is going to come over with Dany to Westeros. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. What's going to happen to Melisandre? Does she make it? Is she going to live or die to see season 8? Is she going to meet Arya again? And if she does, will it be the Melisandre we know, or the old Kron form, her true form, after she takes off her choker and stops taking her potions, just to kind of blend in and be able to travel where she wants, maybe even to head back to Winterfell without being known, just to be around Jon and help him save the damn world. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. I appreciate all the support, especially to you guys on Patreon, and a huge shout out to my executive Patreon smokescreen producers, Griffin, Volguy10, Lala Gig, Kissa Powell, Marc Joseph, aka the Snow in Winterfell, Marylin Bentley, JoAnna, Sean Hayes, Anonymous, Doc Holiday, Goska, HoonJive, Kieran D20, Nicki Snow, and Lo Horton. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the support. And be sure to subscribe to get everything, and make sure you click that notification bell so you're notified when I drop a new damn video. Thanks for watching, you guys, and we'll see you next time.